What's up? It's your boy Joshua. This is part 2 of identity. Started this topic on the last video. Hopefully you guys saw it. If you did not see the video, you can watch the video on the link below. Now, last time we talked about identity, we talked about a couple of things as far as if you don't have a sense of your identity and you don't know who you are, you'll never become who you're called to be. You'll never get to where you're called to go. You'll have distractions in your life. People who are not supposed to be in your life will just slow you down. You don't know who you are, so you're just allowing anything and anyone to come in your life. Identity is real important. So as I get to part 2 on the subject, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on some other things too. Now, one thing that I want to say as far as identity, stop being who you are not. It's a natural human tendency to want to compare ourselves to others. There's this wise statement that says to compare yourself to others is unwise. That's actually in the Bible. If you have your identity straight, you won't ever have to be who you're not. You won't ever have to suck up to people. You'll never have to compare yourselves to others. You won't have to lie to yourself about who you are and who you're trying to be. You don't ever have to step on people. You can truly walk in love. You can truly do right by people because you know who you are. As a matter of fact, you won't even be easily offended. If someone comes and makes fun of you, looks down upon you, says you're unable to do something, you won't even care because you know who you are, you know where you're going, so you don't even have to worry about what other people think because you have your identity straight. Now, I just thought about this story that I know. So it's a story about a young man who was actually given over by his own family to another group of people to become their slaves in another country. His own family. When he was in this other country, him being the good person that he was, he actually ended up working his way up and ended up becoming a servant to one of the most powerful governmental leaders. This young man actually had a good sense of his identity. The person he was serving, that person's wife came on to him. Every single time she saw him, she was trying to get it in. But this guy, knowing his identity, ran from her. Now, when he ran, the wife, being so angry, took a piece of his clothing and she brought it before her husband and said, look, this guy tried to rape me. He was trying to get with me, when all the while she was the one coming on to him. Now, he got put in jail for that. Him still having a sense of identity was still able to be a form of encouragement even in jail. Now, while he was in prison, there was a issue going on with another governmental leader who was actually higher ranked than who he was serving before, who needed a solution. This young man, having wisdom, he was able to go and help this governmental official with this issue that no one could help this guy with. Since he was able to solve a problem that not many people could solve, the governmental official was so happy with this guy that he made him one of the highest ranking officers in the entire nation. All of this happened because this guy had a dream. Now, because this dream was bigger and higher than his family's, and he knew who he was and where he was going, his family sold him into slavery. This story is actually the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph had a sense of identity to the point where he never compromised who he was. How many men can say that if a woman came at you and was ready to get down, that you would have the gut to just run? Bruh, if you know your identity, you would. Instead of being all angry and mad, he knew who he was. So whether he's in jail or out of jail, he knows where he's going. But when all is said and done, I want you to take the time to sit down and really think about, what do I identify with? Who am I? Learn who you are. Learn your strength. Learn your gifts. Learn what you like and what you don't like, so that you never have to compromise who you are to become who you're called to be. There should never be a compromise for where you're called to go. God has the plans for you. Learn your identity in Him and He'll show you the way. Yo, we out though. Why can't I just let him go? But you talking to your friends about him. You listening to a bunch of Usher love songs. You watching a bunch of lovey-dovey movies and you wondering why you can't get him off your mind. Duh!